Hello, welcome back to my channel. Just in case you're new here, my name is Kay and I make videos about budget planning, happy planner planning, and building a homestead. Believe it or not, they are all interrelated. Today I'm going to do a budgeting video with you, and I'm going to do the second budget for January. Just in case you've never seen one of my videos before, I'll tell you a little bit about my budgeting. My husband and I, this is not the first marriage for either one of us, and we have recently, and recently being in 2024, started to merge our money after being together for well, goodness, a decade. So this is kind of new, but what we do is we put our money into a pot, and then we kind of delegate responsibilities for who pays for what. And the budget I work with generally each cycle, and again we have 2 cycles in each month, is about $6,500. So that's what you see. I'm working on are my responsibilities. And what else can I tell you about my budget? I think that's it. That our budget gets funded in kind of off cycles. I see a lot of videos where people get the more traditional 15th and 30th cycle, but we're a little bit off cycle. So next week I'll get funded again, which means I need to prepare my budget, give every dollar a job, and also go to the bank to get some cash. I have a couple of new things going on in my budget planner that I'll share with you today. And I continue to love everything we set up for 2025. And if you watch my videos, you know I like to check in with myself a lot. I feel like it helps keep me motivated and on track and just focused. And so this past week, I did the Golden 10. And that's kind of some of the things that in my other planning pages we've been talking about. Just again, all about intentionality and focus. So what I did was I listed out the Golden 10, and I kind of did my assessed myself and how am I doing? Am I doing well in this? Have I not started this? So the Golden 10 are, number 1, to pay yourself first. And I definitely feel like I'm doing a really good job at doing that. Give every dollar a job. Again, I have been doing that for well over a year now. Spend less than I earn. I think I'm doing a good job with that. I definitely am paying down debt and getting money into savings. Keep my finances organized. Doing a great job with that. In fact, the longer I'm doing this financial budgeting, the more organized and specific it's getting. So very pleased with my progress there. Maintain an emergency fund. Our emergency fund towards the end of the year took a couple of big hits. And I still have an emergency fund that is above my goal of what I wanted to have for emergency fund, but it's a lot less than what it was. So I didn't assess myself as being in the area where I'm happy with that. My money works for me. This was a hard one to assess myself on because I'm not quite convinced my money's working for me. I know I'm doing a good job at giving everything, giving everything at a job is kind of redundant, but I still feel like a lot of my money goes to other things that aren't necessarily about me or, my dreams or aspirations. It's kind of like the old version of, I'm paying off the old version of me. It's not a current version of me. So I rated that one a little bit lower. Build passive income. Oh my goodness. I don't know how y'all do it. I cannot build passive income. And when I try to start something to build passive income, it ends up I spend a lot of money on that thing. So not doing very well there. It's not what I make, but it's what I keep. And I feel like even though I'm giving every dollar a job, spending less than I earn, I'm still not quite convinced my ratios of what I'm keeping, what I'm putting back out is where I want it to be. So just a little bit down there. Learn about investments. I do have a 401k through work that I know absolutely nothing about. So that I'm not doing very well on that one. And use my money for good. I do have points where, you know, I'm saving up money and I'm doing something good with that, but it's nowhere near what I want to be doing. So that was kind of a new self-assessment thing that I did. And I may do that every month just to keep focused and motivated, making sure I'm at where I need to be. The next thing I changed in this, I don't ever use this page, with the exception I monitor my gas and my toll expenses. And that's because I have a digital file that kind of manages all of this for me, the bigger picture. And this is new. This is what I started to do. I started to track my no spend days, and I'm starting to increase the intentionality with them. So I'm saying, nope, this is a no spend day. I'll have to get that tomorrow. I feel like my expenses already for January, because of the power outage and the loss of food and the need to go out to dinner more, has kind of just thrown everything awry here. But I am trying to do a good job at tracking it. I'm trying to do a good job at, you know, why I'm seeing the rise of fast food, and just paying some things and where that money may have come from. But yeah, I'm just going to keep on tracking those no spend days, and I'm hoping that I can increase them. I find that when I consolidate purchases and push them back to a day, number one, the first thing I find is sometimes when I revisit that thing, I really don't need it a week later. I found a workaround, and I'm able to, you know, cancel that off my list of things to buy. But I'm also finding it's just less stress for me. We have, I've explained this before, with our budget. We live rurally, and some things just aren't easy for us to obtain. So Amazon is my biggest thing. And it's really, if I have to buy something that's $6, I hop on Amazon, I buy it, you know, it gets delivered in 2 days to me. And I was just doing that like every day. Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. And boxes coming in, open boxes, put away, boxes coming in, open boxes, put away. I don't know, maybe it was silently causing a lot of stress or busyness in my life. And I find that the more I'm able to push back those purchases and consolidate them, the less stress I'm experiencing with all of that. So that's been a kind of an awareness thing for me. I don't think I was fully aware of that cycle before, but I definitely am becoming more aware of it. And I like the pushing back things. So this is working out for me. Okay, so those are some new things in my budget planner. I'll put that back. And let's look at our January number 2 cycle. What is this budget going to look like? I do have my digital file here up on my computer screen. It's over there, so I'm going to be looking at that. I like to do my budget in domains by priority, and I always focus on keeping a roof over our head, and that begins with a mortgage. We have a mortgage that comes due in our first budget cycle of the month, but I always take a little bit of money for the mortgage out of my second budget cycle, and I put that in a short-term holding account until the first cycle comes again, and then I'll have such a big hit with one cycle. Let's see, phone. And I did, oh gosh, you know what? I didn't budget for it, but I think it's going to come due. But I have it in short term, I think sufficient, so I'm not going to budget for it, and that would be trash. I'll see if it comes due. Let's see, we have all utilities. Electric, water, storage, and my kiddo, who, poor thing, if you've been kind of following her journey, is still really struggling. Okay, that should be my very last storage payment. I think I said that last month, but we're not moved out, so we've got to go another month. Okay, so the phone, and this is for family, this is for everybody, and electric and water, these are about our normal average bills. Sometimes they're lower, you know, in the 300s or so. I think our last water bill was only a couple hundred, but that's just tends to be throughout the year the average, so it's what I budget for. Storage and my kiddo. So in case you're not aware of her story, I have been trying to help support her while she attends college, and she just graduated with her teaching credentials, but she's kind of in this period where she has to wait for the documents that she needs to be able to progress with employment. So she's in this period and she's got no money. So she's got all of her rent, her utilities, all of that. Cheers. So I've been increasing the money that I give her to kind of hold her over and keep her lights on. She is tutoring right now. She picked up 3 different tutoring jobs, and with agencies, that they send her out for tutoring. So hopefully that will, keep a roof over her head. So that is a month-by-month thing, and hopefully she gets in her paperwork soon so that she can progress with her dream. Okay, so this is $28.60. We're going to balance with our budget with our $6,500. Leaves a balance of $36.40. Next up, I have my car. I have got to keep my car on the road because I'm a commuter and my job is, I am 100% dependent upon it. Need that job, so got to keep working. And this budget cycle, we have the insurance payment due, and I'm going to have my normal gas and toll budget. That looks like it's for $640. Which leaves me with $3,000. Okay, next up I have my snowball. Paying down that debt. I have been working on a PayPal card. I feel like I have another card where, because I've just been making payments, it needs some attention, so I'm going to switch that snowball. I know that's not Dave Ramsey's framework, but I've spoken about this before where I have to do what feels safe to me. So I'm going to make a snowball payment to that card so it's not quite so towards its limit, which is where it's sitting now. Okay, and then we have our binders, our cash binders. So I have hubby, and I'm going to stuff some grocery money in his. He also stuffs his own. So that's why you don't see other envelopes there on his. And then we have our nonprofit. Hubby and I are co-founders of a nonprofit animal sanctuary. And the nonprofit, I'm going to have some cash around the property propane. We almost always need cash for that. I put account, but I've shared before, that's kind of just cash expenses that occur on the property where I would normally use my ATM card to pay out of the business account. I just keep some cash here. Land maintenance, I'm going to put in 50. Auto upkeep, I thought I was going to have a flat tire for the nonprofit vehicle this past week, but thankfully it was fine. Things like that for the nonprofit can easily blow out its budget, so I'm glad that we've been saving up for that. Animal care will get 100. And this is, I have it on my digital sheet here, 260, which brings my balance to 2,400. The nonprofit binder, I think in our last cash stuffing, we said was getting kind of, yeah, see, this is too much cash here. for the nonprofit binder. If we haven't used it by now, you know, we can put it in the bank. So I'll probably empty out those cash envelopes here coming up and just to strip it down to, like, for example, propane. When the nonprofit needs propane, it may cost $40. And that's all I need in this propane envelope would be $40. And it has that now. So what I'll do is when I take the cash out, that's in excess, I'll leave just enough for like one thing. Our nonprofit bank account needs the money more than the cash binder because the bank account's where we pay for all the feed and all of that from. So, and that's always poor. So I'll move that over. And then, does that make sense? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I just ramble in these videos. And then there's my binder. And I've been giving some thought to my binder. I haven't made a decision yet, so if you have an opinion one way or another, please do share, and I'll tell you what my thoughts are. Okay, so for dental, I'm going to increase. I think I have a toothache this morning, which is not good news. Self-care, 100. Date night, 20. My own fund money is 50. And savings is going to be 300 for a total of $530, bringing my balance to 1870. Okay, so here's my dilemma with my personal binder. Okay, dental care is a big one for me. I've shared before, I have pretty severe dental disease. You would never know it by looking at my teeth. I have nice looking teeth that are not healthy teeth. So I know I'm going to have to end up with dentures. I'm not a candidate for, due to my disease, I'm not a candidate for implants or anything like that. So I know right now when I get a toothache, I'm not a candidate anymore for root canals or crowns, or the tooth just has to come out. So I know that's in my future. And right now my teeth are holding steady, thank goodness. But every little toothache I get, I'm just like, oh no, will this be the one? So I'm fortunate, you know, I'm blessed. Both of my parents lost their teeth when they were very, very young. And I'm blessed now to be midlife and still have all my teeth and have them be in good shape for the most part. But again, I know that in good shape, again, it's good until it's not good. But when it's not good, there's just no options for me but to lose the tooth. So anyway, this is going to be a big one. In 2024, we did save up money and we put it into long-term savings. So it's over there. This is the savings so far for the new year. And this is not a dilemma for me. I'm going to just keep building. This one is the dilemma for me. So I put money into self-care. And just to kind of give you a little bit of the backstory, I have been on a weight loss journey for the past year and have lost, probably about 100 pounds now. A previous version of myself, I struggle with self-care. And a lot of that has to do with just having a busy schedule. And I went years and years and years and years and years with cutting my own hair, dyeing my own hair, and never doing things like my nails. And it was only when I started this budgeting where I started the intention of, hey, and this weight loss journey of, hey, you need to take better care of yourself. And so I put aside money. I started the self-care envelope, putting aside money to have my nails done. And at the beginning, that was such a struggle. Now I just go every 2 or 3 weeks. I get my nails done and I have a sense of I'm taking better care of myself. The same thing with my hair. It was shocking to me to know how much it costs to have hair done. And I really struggle with that. It feels like a privilege that I can't afford, like my money should be going someplace else. but I almost ruined my hair with all of those years of box dyes. And so I've been throughout 2024 taking it through a restorative process and trying to get it back to a place where it's healthier. And so I put aside money for those two things, and with tips in my self-care. And that's what and I think I allocate like $20 extra. If I had to have to break it down into what we budget. It's something like that. And then my mom just sometimes just pays for it. And I tell her, don't do that. I budget for it. You know, I've got this, but she likes to do that. And so what's happened now with self-care is look where it's at. I am going to a hair appointment next week, so it's going to be depleted, but it seems like an awful lot of money in my self-care envelope, and that's my dilemma. It's here in my self-care, and the other dilemma is here in my fun money here. And it feels excessive, the money I have in there. I don't know, do I just keep saving it? Do I just keep doing it? Do I take that money out and put it to debt? Do I take that money out and put it to back to my emergency fund? I don't know. I feel frozen in that decision because there are two areas, self-care and fun money, that have to do with my well-being. So I don't know. Yeah. Can you hear in my voice I don't know. I hope none of you struggle with that. It's a real struggle when you aren't used to self-care. There's a lot of guilt when you're a mama and you know you've got kids in need. Should I give it to my daughter who's clearly financially struggling? I mean, I don't know. I'm just frozen right now. Frozen with those envelopes. Okay. Again, if you have any opinions or feedback, I really am open to hearing them because I really am having some paralysis there. Okay. Now, we had done some planning for the holiday binder and the Seeking Funds binder. And that's after I was inspired by the budgeting baker who, the way that she does her sinking funds and the planning, I just changed to it right away. So you'll see that start here. And for holiday, I'm going to have cash stuff for birthdays and Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving. And our anniversary and Christmas and New Year. For birthdays, February is my son's birthday month, March is my daughter's birthday month, and I will give each one of them a couple $100. So birthday's going to get $200 for my son, and then the $40 regular. And Valentine's Day is going to get $20. Thanksgiving will get $10. Our anniversary will get $20. Christmas will get $50. And New Year will get $10. For a total of $350, it looks like. Which will bring my balance to $1,520. The next binder, my sinking funds. Binder. And what do we have? We have my auto registration. We have Luna. Luna is our small travel trailer registration. We have tax prep. Oh boy, the dreaded tax accountant bill. Microsoft membership renewal. Is it a membership? I don't think it's a membership. It's more like a subscription. Wondershare, which is my video filming platform. I've got AAA, Prime, Canva. Gee, these memberships are a killer, aren't they? And Costco. It seems like if I needed to shrink down my budget, this is where I would hit with these memberships. Okay, auto registration, I need to put aside $60. Luna registration, I need to put aside $20. Tax prep, I'm going to put aside $150. Microsoft is $10. Wondershare is $5. AAA is going to be $15. Prime is going to be $5, Canva is going to be $10, and Costco is going to be $5 for $280. I've spoken about our taxes before. Because of the complexities of the nonprofit and all the filings that are required for that, we have to have an accountant. So the accountant generally does our personal and then our nonprofit. This year, I'm going to try to do our personal to cut the accountant bill in half and only go with the nonprofit. So we'll see if I'm able to do that. So 1,520 minus 280 leaves me with $1,240. So I just had this feeling of, wait a minute, that's too much. And you know why it is too much? Because I forgot a category. This is not a binder, but my credit card payments and loan payments. We have a loan payment that we pay on monthly, and that was for our property purchase. And it's down to, I think, about $5,000 now. So looking forward to paying that off in another year. And then I have my 2 PayPals. One of these is mine. One of these pertains to the property, the nonprofit. And that's $733. I can't imagine a month where there's not a loan payment or a credit card payment. All of my credit card payments generally come in the first budget cycle, and then I only have a couple on the second. Okay, now that should be better. Okay, one more binder, and that's my 1 month ahead. My goal for 2025 is to try to get 1 month ahead. And I'm going to put aside mortgage. And for utilities, I have a few envelopes, but I'm just going to put aside one lump here, 40 and 20, 60, balance. It's $447. And then y'all know what's last, my cash wallet. When I need to tweak my budget, I generally tweak what I put in my cash wallet. Groceries, household, eating out, personal, and miscellaneous. Groceries I do 400, household I do 50, eating out I do 50, personal I do 20, and miscellaneous I do 20 for a total of 540. Oh boy. Which is $93. I don't know how much cash I have left in my cash wallet right now, but I know I'm low. So I'm going to be short for this budget. I do have a little bit of buffer left in my account. I think I'll be able to cover this. If I can't cover this, what I have to do is go into the short-term account. So, let me look at that. Short-term, I'm going to move all of these over until the bills actually come due. So I'll get funded for these next week, but they won't actually come due till the first week of the new month. So what I do, so I don't get it confused with my buffer and my household account, is I move it over into a short-term holding account, and then when the bills come due, I move it back into household. Because for me, having too much excessive cash in my household account is very dangerous. And in case you haven't, let me grab a paper here, heard me talk about that before, I bank at a credit union, and they don't charge me anything for extra accounts. They let you open up as many as you want. So I have a household account, and that's where the money comes in, and then my buffer. And then I have a short term, and that's where I move over that money you just saw me putting a little star by. And that's for bills that are going to be coming due but aren't necessarily due in the next couple of weeks. So that goes into short term. And then I have a long term, and that holds savings and emergency fund. They're together in the long term. So those are kind of the three. I also have a business for my hobby business account, but I think it has like $70 in it, and it's had $70 for forever, and there's no income, there's no outgoing. So yeah, these are the three accounts generally I operate out of. And again, the bill money goes holding here, that's coming due, and it goes up here into the buffer as it gets paid. That saves it, it reserves it, it's been targeted for something, and I only leave here an excess. Yeah, so that's the way I run my accounts. Okay, well, I'm glad to have that done. The next thing I'll do is I will, figure out how much cash I need to get from the bank this week. I don't know when I'll have the opportunity to go, but hopefully by Friday I can do that, and I'll be back for a cash stuffing video. Until the next time, I hope you are all doing well. I hope you have a great weekend. It's Saturday. I woke up at 2 a.m. Don't ask me why I woke up at 2 a.m. It's just my life. And my coffee's a little bit cold now because I haven't done a good job at drinking it. So I'm going to go get fresh, hot coffee and drink that. Okay, until the next time, may you be blessed.